Gambian citizens vote in first presidential election since Jammeh era. France evacuates more than 300 people from Afghanistan. And in sports, Super Eagles received massive boost ahead of AFCON. Details coming up shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Rose Audu and this is TOS News 360. We begin with Africa, where Gambians this Saturday cast their ballots to elect the country's next president in a highly anticipated vote, seen as a test of the country's democratic transition. President Jammeh faces a record 5 other candidates as he seeks re-election in what is expected to be a close race. Political veteran Suno Debole is seen as the main opposition candidate. Saturday's vote is the first since longtime autocratic ruler Yahya Jammeh was forced into exile in January 2017 after Barrow, relatively unknown at the time, defeated him at the ballot box. United Nations Chief Antonio Guterres have tasked authorities in Sudan to respect freedom of expression and the press, calling the coup-stricken country hostile to journalists in a report submitted on Friday to the Security Council. Recall that the military chief general Abdel Fattah al-Burhan seized power and detained Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok, but after international condemnation and the mass protests reinstated the premier in November 21 deal. And on to stories across Nigeria. The Kano Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has arrested 3 suspects at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport while attempting to smuggle 1,144 automated teller machine cards out of the country. The suspects are Abdullahi Osman, Musa Abubakar and Abdul Wahid Awulu, were arrested between November 24 and December 1, 2021. Upon their arrest, it was discovered that Abubakar, who was on his way to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, had concealed 714 ATM cards, while Usman, who was heading to Saudi Arabia, had 298 ATM cards in his possession. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered substituted service on the 36 state governors in the suit seeking financial autonomy for the judiciary. Justice Bintan Yako gave the order after counsel for the plaintiff, Oba Madubuchi, senior advocate of Nigeria, moved an ex parte motion marked FHC/ABJ/CS/502/2021. It was reported that the plaintiff, Emeka Okoye, in an originating summons, had sued the 36 states through their attorneys general. He urged the court to grant his application for a national courier outfit, Red Star Express, to serve as a special bailiff to effect service of the originating summons and other accompanying processes on the defendant as good and proper service. And on international scene, Pope Francis has appointed Bishop Emmanuel Badejo of the Catholic Diocese of Oyo to the Vatican Dicastery for Communications. The appointment was announced in a statement made available by Reverend Father John Erekiwe, the Director of Communications of Oyo Diocese. TOS News understands that the Dicastery of Communications is the administrative department of the Holy See, the Vatican State, through which Pope Francis directs affairs that pertain to social communications in the Roman Catholic Church. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. More global, business, and sports stories when we return, to stay tuned. Welcome back. France has carried out an evacuation mission in Afghanistan, taking to 58 Afghans as well as 11 French, some 60 Dutch nationals, and unspecified number of people linked to them out of the country. This is according to French Foreign Ministry spokeswoman. The operation was organized with help from Qatar, a ministry statement said. Evacuees included Afghans who were at risk, such as journalists and people with links to France, including civilian workers employed by the French army. And prosecutors have charged the parents of a suspect in the deadly Michigan school shooting with involuntary manslaughter. Authorities have issued a fugitive warrant for James and Jennifer Crumbley, who are accused of ignoring warning signs before the gun rampage. Ethan Crumbley, 15, is accused of using his father's gun to shoot classmates in Oxford, about 35 miles north of Detroit this week. The European Union's Public Health Agency has said the Omicron variant could be responsible for more than half of all COVID-19 infections in Europe within a few months, but no case of severe disease had yet been identified in the region. The estimate could lend weight to preliminary information about the very high transmissibility of the Omicron variant, above that of the Delta variant, which before Omicron was considered the most contagious of the main coronavirus strains. Moving on to business, the Nigerian capital market closed on the negative amid sell-offs and buy interest as the benchmark all-share index depreciated by 19 basis points. The market closed at 42,169.91 points, which reflected a decline of 0.19% from the previous trading day and a year-to-date return of 4.71%. Meanwhile, the market capitalization decreased by 41.78 billion naira. And on sports, Nigeria national team Super Eagles may have a massive boost for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations with Victor Osimhen likely to back in action ahead of the tournament after earlier being ruled out for 3 months through injury. Osimhen fractured his eye, socket and cheekbone in Napoli's 3-2 lose to Serie A defending champions Inter Milan last month. Napoli confirmed after the surgery that the Super Eagles star would be out of action for about 90 days, ruling him out of the AFCON, which starts January 9 in Cameroon. And that is TOS News 360, your digital-first Pan-African news network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Stay with us and enjoy most programs on TOS Television Network. I am Rose Audu, and many thanks for watching.